Hey everyone, my name is Simpsy. How you all doing? Welcome to the first episode of my daily Medieval 2 Total War Definitive Edition Stainless Steel Historical Improvement Project Modded England campaign. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd really much appreciate it. So, what is SSHIP? Well, it's a more realistic, historical, brutal, slow mod for Medieval 2. It's a submod for stainless steel, kinda like DEI, Divide et Impera, but for Medieval 2. It has a slow and expensive recruitment for soldiers and knights, making them more valuable on the campaign map. It has a really nice historical family tree and a lot of decent bug fixes. It also has historically accurate settlement size and population, improved AI, economic systems, new units and factions, and so many more features. Now, it's probably been 8 years since I've done a stainless steel, a full series on the channel. I've only done 2. But I thought I'd test out England here today for a series. If I really enjoy playing and learning SSHIP, I will definitely do more campaigns. Let me know if you guys would like to see more. Do you guys prefer this? I did a poll recently as well, testing, and the majority of you guys actually prefer SSHIP over vanilla, over stainless steel, and there were a couple of other mods there, like the Italian Wars and Tsardoms as well. So support it, and I'll do more. So many factions to potentially play as, but I think playing as England in our first time around is a really good faction on very hard to learn the campaign. Let's go. Now guys, let me know in the comments tips and tricks for SSHIP, those who have done multiple campaigns. Maybe I can learn some things. Also, you guys in the comments might be able to learn some things as well. Alrighty, I'm super excited for my first campaign. Very hard of course. Playing as England, a really nice testing ground. It is going to take a little bit of time before we bring all of the entirety of the United Kingdom under our control. I've been talking to some people in the Discord that have played this mod a fair bit, and they said it can take up to 30-50 turns to get all of England under your control. We do have Scotland we're gonna have to deal with, and there's a bunch of rebel settlements as well. So here's some information. Here is what very hard does. Obviously makes the campaign, well, very hard, and I'm sure there's a bunch of features and additional content that I haven't learnt and figured out just yet. I really do like the family tree from what I was experiencing, doing a couple test campaigns. You can actually grow a dynasty, you can choose the heir, and they're so much more realistic and sensible as well. So for this series, I think taking all of the entirety of the United Kingdom is the first play. Try and hold on to our northern France settlements, and then obviously we want to try and take Aquitaine. So England is one of the strongest factions in the mods and doesn't receive any special support. Nice. The English reforms have not been fully implemented, but we do have stuff like the Magna Carta, English archers, some special books like the Winchester Bible. You don't need to do anything for particular reforms. Okay, thank you. Attacking only with generals. Oh, okay, so this is even a harder script. Look, I'm going to turn this off because one of the reasons I like to be back in Medieval 2 is that I like playing with units that can attack on their own if they want to. I don't necessarily like the newer Total Wars when they lock generals to armies, so I think we'll turn that off, but I do think it's quite cool and sensible that you can't go out and attack with a general just to add even harder difficulty. So we're not going to turn that on. For example, we're not going to turn on the the construction feature, where you can of course only construct and build units with a general. We're not going to turn that one on either. So King Henry is currently uncrowned as he doesn't have all of his historical territory under our control. So we're currently under the reign of King Henry. We are playing an early campaign because unfortunately the late campaign is not available. But here is our territory: Bristol, Lincoln, Normandy, Norwich and York. We also have Angers as well. Angers. I can't remember the French name of it. We need 40 regions, including Paris and Jerusalem. We currently control 7. So I think firstly, focusing on the United Kingdom, we might potentially go for some northern France territory. Our relationship and standing with the Pope is quite low, but if we can get an alliance with the Vatican at some point, we might potentially be able to call a crusade. Now, most of the diplomacy is neutral. For example, with us, France, the Holy Roman Empire. The Reconquista is going on. Poland's at war with Hungary, but I think early on, we'll just quickly do a toggle foe, because I want to show you guys the scope of the campaign map just to get your bearings. And also, I am learning a lot where these settlements are as well. So this is the size of the map. It is absolutely humongous. Chungus. So there's so much rebel territory to take. There's all these new factions as well. Pisa. What else is there? There's like the Kievan Rus. I think even Novgorod's in here. So if I really enjoy this campaign and you guys enjoy it as well, I can definitely see myself diving into more campaigns. Alright, nice. Well, let's have a quick look at the family tree. So we're currently under the reign of King Henry. For whatever reason, his grandson is the prince. He is next in line. So we're going to keep him in Normandy for now. He's 64 years of age, so I don't particularly want to be moving him too far around the campaign. He's currently uncrowned. Also, they've added so many traits and ancillaries, but this is a realistic family tree, which is quite nice. We've got Geoffrey Plantagenet here, so this is the Plantagenet line. He's 19. Maybe historically he died. I don't know why Prince Henry was the king. Let me know. 1100 AD nerds. Alright, we've got Stefan Diabolus, who's 36. He has 2 children as well, and he seems to have Vesemir as a harsh judge. Robert of Normandy is currently 78, and most of the William the Conqueror's line has died out. So we will be able to choose our next heir. There was a mod back in the day called the Heir Crown mod. I don't know if you guys can remember that, but that was quite good. There's a similar feature in this. So we're going to move our spies around here. I think our first target is to deal with the problem in Wales. And we want to try and keep an eye on the French as well. I may be tempted to try and make an alliance with them, because it's going to take us so long to bring all of the island under our control. If we can get all of England under our control, or Great Britain, we're going to be able to essentially move into Europe with impunity. So we're going to keep a lot of these guys as regional governors. And who have we got here? Robert of Gloucester. We've got Robert of Normandy here as well. Was it Mandeville? So potentially if we get some daughters, we might try and marry into those generals. Also, I will be not adopting anyone in this series. I want to try and roleplay as best I can. I don't know why my cursor is a different color for whatever reason. Anyway, we're going to start making plans and preparation to mobilize everyone. We'll try and keep generals in settlements because they can get some traits. Not everyone has to be a commander and conqueror like William. So we want to try and allow some of them to be active commanders. So I think getting all of our military forces going into Wales is the play. I think Wales can be traditionally quite hard on even vanilla Medieval 2 Total War, just due to those Welsh longbowmen. I believe they have some of the best bowmen at this stage in the campaign. They have like some of the best. Then we'll make plans and preparations to go into Scotland and Ireland. Now, I will need to try and hold a decent military presence here. I'm just trying to think. Do I move this back to Normandy? Yeah, I think I do. Because Angers is so far south, I think moving back up to Normandy Castle is the best play. Also, look at the construction. Look at this. Roads in London is going to cost us just shy of 7,000 gold pieces, Florence. But it's going to take 20 turns. So you really have to be cool, calm, and collected and calculated in where you spend your valuable construction time and finances. You also want to try and keep somewhere between 2 to 4,000k to spend on events as well. So it's not going to be this early on that we're going to be able to afford and construct stuff. Once we start fighting armies, once we start taking more territory and we're expanding, then we're going to be able to invest. So we're really going to have to be wary with our construction. So I think focusing and getting buildings in London, our capital, first is the play. And sort of the external territories that potentially could get attacked, like some of those regions, like Angers, we probably shouldn't build in. So what do we got here? Maybe a church might be a smart idea. So Normandy isn't our capital. It's actually a minor city. Interesting. So London is the capital. I could move the king back to London. He is a little bit susceptible there. But we're going to end the turn and continue. And Scotland. Fergus Mac. At your service. Okay, that was more Irish. Trade rights and map information. Sure. Now, the AI doesn't seem to be as backstabby if you get alliances with them, which is good. So, I think getting trade and map information is the play. I'm going to keep moves on as well. I usually turn that off, but because we're playing on such a hard mod for the first time, I do want to see AI movements, because Paris is so close, oh no, to Normandy, and they have moved up military forces and assets to the border. Yikes. Are we about to start the 100 Years' War already? I sure hope not. So we're going to try and move everyone to Normandy to defend it. But that's a decent army there. They are mobilizing so quickly. That's kind of frightened me a bit because they could attack us. I don't think I can afford a war with France just yet. Okay, so we've got Philip of Richmond. Oh, that's a cool name. 15 years of age, a youngster as well, and a decent portrait. Look, you know what? I don't want to adopt anyone. I want to roleplay and like have I want it to mean something when our generals die. I want them to be a part of the bloodline. So here we go, the rise of knights. In Europe, warriors 1000 AD enjoyed no heraldry status. Okay, so this is so this basically says knights are really expensive and you should be very, very cautious when you use them because they cost like nearly 1,000 per turn and they're rare. You're not going to have a doom stack of medieval knights that you can just replenish constantly. Okay, you're playing on very hard campaign. Okay, our mercenaries need pay. Oh no! Oh wow! Okay, so unfortunately, within turn 2, we've already bankrupted ourselves. So, basically, we've not done my rule of thumb. Unfortunately, Robert of Normandy has died as well. That's unfortunate. Oh no, there's no one in London. Yikes. Okay, so we're going to need to have a general and then a unit in every settlement. Should I move Philibert to London? London is probably our best city, so we'll try and move them down south. Okay, so still slowly but surely mobilizing to go into Wales. Where can I move my cardinal as well? Most of the Catholicism is okay. Seems to be a lot less here in Wales. So let's move the Canterbury. Oh, hang on, we found an army here. A rebel army. Okay, so unfortunately we can't get to Carnarvon without dealing with that. Still got our spy on the border. We'll move in Geoffrey Plantagenet. Essentially should be next in line to the throne, but his son seems like he will inherit it. We're moving our diplomat over to Paris. Also, diplomats are very hard to come by as well. We'll make sure we keep our fleet in the ports to protect from English Channel piracy. So Henry's 64. I think he's going to be okay to make the voyage. Because of that bankruptcy, we're going to have to stop the construction of the church in Normandy. And we'll move Geoffrey. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I think the king probably shouldn't move. We'll move you back to Lincoln. Okay, is this a good enough army to deal with them potentially? Oh my god, it's 2,000 a watchtower? Yikes. That's so much money. Okay, so we've got 2 half stacks. Robert of Gloucester. I don't know why I'm saying that so weird. Gloucester. So some Welsh spearmen. A general's bodyguard of 122. That's quite a bit. We do outnumber them 2-1, but he's a pretty good general. But let's have our first battle of the series as they are blocking our way to Wales. Fight to the last gasp. Okay, thanks, Shakespeare. So here is our army build. Some of the unit cards are alright, axemen. Some of them are different. So let's move on up. And let's test out how the battles perform. Alright, so this is a really good test. They are sitting uphill. And they have the high ground in the forest. Now, I don't know exactly how fatigued we're going to be going uphill. Now, I might try and test running. Because I don't know if it's like normal medieval 2. How it recovers quite quickly the tiredness. Or will it just completely zap us? Alright, as we slowly but surely make our way up. Here is some of the light axe militia. We've got some Norman sergeants there, which look good. And we've also got some cavalry, but they will have skirmisher supremacy on us. We match them 2 for 2, but they have better high quality Welsh longbowmen. As we slowly but surely move on up to try and bring Wales into the fold. Will Robert be the first Prince of Wales? But I'm super excited for this mod. I can't believe I haven't stumbled across it earlier. I saw some posts about it in the Total War community. I did actually look through my comments, had people recommended it. They actually recommended it years and years ago, but I think it's actually had some development and it's been worked on the past 2 years. So big shout out to the SSHIP team. Alright, we're slowly but surely moving up. Just speeding things up. It is 60% in our favour. Alright. But yeah, still dealing with my hand injury, but I found that playing the older games is so much more manageable with one hand. Like, I'm actually playing this with one hand now, believe it or not. I feel like some of the newer Total Wars are like super micro heavy. But yeah, I might need to make a video because I'm sure you guys are sick of me talking about it by now. My goddamn nerve pain issue I've been dealing with now for nearly 10 months. But hopefully I get it sorted out soon. Alrighty, so yeah, no, they're very tired. Oh wow, okay, that's not good. We'll try and cycle charge. Oh, they've actually got stakes there. No, quickly divert. Yikes. Can we somehow hit the Welsh longbowmen? Oh, bro, they were brutally ripping through our armor. Alright, let's move back. But I thought if I'm testing out a mod for the first time, I've got to play England. England, the HRE, especially on vanilla, some of the easier factions to play as. It's essentially the tutorial island. I kind of like it. But they're definitely strong. But in saying that, we might have to abandon our French territory while we secure the island, because you never know how hot these Scottish wars will go. Okay, so we've lost 6% before we've even moved up. Let's try and get my cavalry around. Oh, now my archers are getting hit. So they're going to come straight down into me. It seems like they are. Let's give out some attack orders. Oh, but my units are exhausted. Okay, so now we're learning about the fatigue system. Yeah, it's harsh in this. I got those longbowmen are peppering me as well. This actually might be a high casualty battle. Pushing uphill, running, archer supremacy. Now they're running downhill against me. But this is what it's all about. Playing a new Total War mod, you live and learn. Look, I could have lowered the difficulty, but that's the point. Push through adversity. So we're still relatively under the Norman conquest. I wonder if there'll be any Viking invasions. Uh-oh. I never really thought about that. I'm talking about France and Scotland as existential threats for this New England. But maybe we need to watch out for the Danes and the Norwegians. But yeah, if you guys support this series and it does well and I enjoy it, I can definitely see myself playing as the Byzantines. Make Rome great again, of course. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? I'm so happy that meme blew up. I, unironically, at least think about it once a day, several times a week, due to the nature of just playing strategy games. I do quite find it quite a funny observation that it's just like I guess like it's something you don't really talk about with women. It's like, so how often do you think about it? I was like, oh, I said that, and they were just like, really? I've never heard you talk about it. How often do you talk about the Roman Empire with your partner? Oh, we're getting peppered here now. Shit. Move back. My cavalry's just been absolutely minced. Okay, so now they're moving in their heavies. Okay, so pushing to Wales is definitely going to be easier said than done. Bring them under the fold. For example, the more losses we take in this, the longer it's going to need us. The longer it's going to be for us to bounce back. Okay, now we're peppering him on the sides here. Yeah, using archers is probably the play. We also might need to siege out settlements for multiple turns. Usually in Medieval you can kind of get away with rushing it early, but we might need to actually slowly but surely envelop, cut off, and siege a settlement like Wales. Now, we haven't gotten to the point yet, but we will want to, once we get all of the UK under our control, divvy up settlements and castles a bit better. You want castles on the front lines, because you can get your troops there easier, but cities are your money makers. We also want to go around and get trade rights with a bunch of factions. So, strap yourselves in for a long and glorious campaign, witnessing the rise of England. Okay, hitting them from the side there. So it swung about 60% in our favour. I feel like it might have even got as low as 50 there. Robert was getting a little bit pinged. I feel like just looking at even some of these rebels, that their generals are better than ours. Okay, let's move here. Yeah, so even this is a little bit unorthodox, this fight. We've got tree line, we've got hills. It doesn't seem to be as micro heavy once you lock units down. But I can't wait to see how this campaign plays out. Will France be enveloped by multiple powers? Will Catholic Spain... Well, I guess it's Castile and Leon probably, and Barcelona. I can't remember. There was multiple factions. We've got Portugal. Will they win the Reconquista? What's going to happen in Italy? Will the Turks reclaim? Well, claim Istanbul, Constantinople? Who knows? Also, depending where we expand and conquer, we might be able to take some other territory. Set up some trade posts. Okay. Dude. Our units are so fatigued and exhausted. Yikes. Crikey. But it's good to be back in Total War. Medieval. S tier. Top tier game. I should have come back earlier. Took a bit of a break. Thoroughly enjoying Starfield, but played over 200 hours in that game and I'm done. But, hey, Total War is my jam. This is where it is. Enemy general fallen. So, gonna slowly but surely start working back, creating a Total War catalog again. But I'm feeling a lot better. 44% to their 74, nice. But it's also just like the physical and mechanical issue, but it's also just like constantly feeling like there's pins and needles in your hand is just fatiguing. Like constantly having your pain receptors activated, it's annoying. And the medication doesn't help either. I slur my words half the time anyway. It's even worse. Sometimes I misspeak. Hey, I'm doing my best. Once we start building up some videos, I might do a stream here or there, but I don't know. I go back and forth on streaming because like it's just so hard living in Australia time-wise. The best time for me to stream is nocturnally for you Americans and Europeans. But it just stuffs me up, makes me feel terrible. Alright, so let's try and run down as many of them as we can. Build up Robert's chevrons. Nice. Okay, so it's a clear victory, but we did lose 521. Probably due to my performance in that one. We could have got that one down a little bit better. But our first victory in 1132 AD. I do quite like the quotes as well. Oh, nice. What's this? We have looted the enemy camp. Okay, great tidings, my lord. Our soldiers have looted the enemy camp. Additional income. Okay, so we can allow the soldiers to plunder it, or we can basically keep it for ourselves. So there's a strategy. Obviously, you get fewer finances. You get some more additional traits. Okay. I wonder if you've got a young king, that might be more viable. Because you might be able to farm traits as well. That's another thing. We're going to have to be really quite meticulous in who we marry our princes and generals off to. Man of the hour. No, we're not going to accept that. I'd rather marry them in. But a good victory. Alright, well, let's make plans and preparations to go into Wales. Also, as we've got 2 full stacks actively moving through winter, we will be obviously spending about 1,000, maybe 2,000, maybe even more a turn extra because they're actively in the field. Also because it's winter, things would be worse. Damn. Okay, well, it was worth trying to attempt to move the spy in to attack in one turn. Let's move you there. So maybe we need to work leveling up our spies before trying to infiltrate the Welsh populace. And merchant is fine. Diplomat is a little fair few turns off from actually negotiating with France. I think we should just try and get trade and map information. First, get some amicable relations, but I do have a plan with the French potentially. Alright, welcome to the top of the turn. Another candidate for adoption. We also have the diplomacy guide. Oh, nice. So this actually gives us... So there's actually a reputation system, which is nice. So the more aggressive you are, the more backstabby, the more wars. So that's really, really cool. It makes it more sensible and realistic compared to... Sorry, it makes it like similar to Rome and maybe DEI. Okay, impending debt. Right, that's because we've had those military forces active throughout the winter as we push for Wales. Hopefully, if we do go into a debt, we might potentially be able to get some from the settlement. Army supply costs as well. Yeah, so there's even like an army supply system similar to 1100 AD, the mod for Rome 2. The supply system makes you pay for your armies. Staying in enemy lands, traveling by boat, or besieging. Take the rebel settlement of Carnarvon. Oh, perfect. Perfect. 8,000. And there's been a princess. Diabolis. Let's get Robert in. Let's build this siege equipment. So what can we build? One ram and whatever the max amount of towers. We can get a siege tower, really? I usually go with the ladders because they can't get burnt down. And let's move you in here. So I think Robert is probably going to be our main active fighter. And Stefan Diabolis can probably take the reins. He's going to learn from him. I might even leave Robert in Wales to govern it. That's the reward if you conquer the settlement. So Geoffrey Plantagenet, the king's son, is sitting in London, and Prince Henry is still not of age. So we're going to go negotiate with the French and have a parley with them soon as we siege out Wales. Alright, welcome to the tip top of the turn. Finances. Plague can break out. Pirates threaten you. God. Reforms of the English military. Right, I've read this before. So I think this is just giving us tips, advice. Afflicted with pneumonia. Robert of Gloucester. Oh no. Oh wow. We've got some truces here. But the Portuguese are at war with the Moors. Wait, Portugal was at war with Castile and Leon. Interesting that they did that. That's pretty sensible to make peace with the Spanish when they're at war with the Moors. Anyway, let's negotiate with Paris. Let's negotiate with Louis. Let's try and get trade. They've accepted. Okay, so we are neutral with them. Now, I do fear war with the French. I would like to make an alliance with them. Obviously, you might be thinking, you're crazy. You can't make an alliance with the French. Well, I think I will because it's probably going to take us 30, 40 turns before we can get all of the UK under our control. So I'm going to offer them an alliance and we'll give them 1,000. Oh, that's unfortunate. They rejected. Now, the best way to negotiate, I know this for a fact in vanilla, is to trade settlements. Now, I can't defend Angers. I simply can't. And leaving one unit there is probably inviting an attack. So I would negotiate with France and say, hey, I will give you this territory for an alliance. I'll even pay 2,000. Oh, perfect. And they're going to accept. Because the way they were mustering on the border there, they're not at war with anyone else. I know it's a core historic Norman territory. At the moment, we can't defend that southern Aquitaine territory adequately. We could have alternatively pushed everything into France, but then we are threatened by major regional powers. I think it's safe for our security to get all of the United Kingdom under our control, as we do have some pretty tough local rebels, like the Welsh and Irish clans.
Yes, sire.
Okay, so we are still sieging out Wales here, and we're going to play this one. We're outnumbering them 2-1. Now, we have been sieging for a little bit, but it hasn't really chipped them down too much. We have 2,500 brave English boys to go against the Welsh. Let's get stuck into them. And many strokes through with a little axe. He hewed down and fell the hardest on the timber. Okay. Thanks, Shakespeare. Alright. One battering ram, 4 ladders. Let's move these Norman sergeants up. And we'll get our archers to put in some supremacy as well. Skirmisher supremacy. Doesn't look too tricky of a siege. Nothing too tactically difficult. Just going to be a little bit of a grind. So depending on how large the settlement is, it actually might be a legitimate strategy to try and siege and starve them out. So we won the first initial battle against Wales. Their scouting field army blocking the path, and now we've got the proper siege. I would have liked to see if there was more settlements here, but one's fine. I do quite like how massive the United Kingdom and France now is. But so far, really adoring the campaign map, loving the family tree. The units are okay, but the battle performance is pretty good. But here we go, the battle for Wales and for the entirety of the United Kingdom is well and truly underway. But even fighting against a rebel faction of Wales, there's a lot of unique units here. They look cool and different, and it's actually quite challenging. The Welsh are going to put an absolute fight on, and they're going to fight to the last Welshman. But here we go. The ladders are slowly but surely going on up. Archers raining fire up and over the top. We are using default ammunition. I wonder if we're better with like these hunters and stuff to use flammable rounds. Maybe. In Third Age, there was a legitimate strategy sometimes using flammable arrows. I tend to, in Medieval, just to use the default rounds because they have a better fire rate and the hit points. Like it's sometimes better. It's better to pin down a unit and fire multiple rounds into a unit to whittle down the hit points rather than the arrow fire, because it has high damage. There is like a minor morale debuff they get, but they just miss so many. I don't know if it's been tinkered with in this mod. Let me know. I have questions. But so far, I have noticed that the performance can be a little bit weird. I feel like stainless steel when I played it was way more stable. Haven't had any crash to desktops just yet, cross my fingers, but I feel like this one, there's a lot of issues, and I don't know why. I think it's just due to, as you go bigger with models and castles, and just the more you add, the more it just makes it unstable. That's just the nature of things. Like, I love Fire and Blood for vanilla. Wait, what? But like Fire and Blood for like fantasy, medieval too. But that mod is just so unstable. There's also plenty of fantasy mods as well we could play. Maybe we need to go back to Middle Earth, Third Age. I don't know. After watching Rings of Power, yuck, kind of turned me off Lord of the Rings. 72%, but I've always been far more of a Song of Ice and Fire enjoyer. I'm sorry, it's just better. Controversial. 90% ready to charge on in soon. But so far we're doing far better in this particular siege compared to the field battles. Probably because we're being a little bit more meticulous about our unit tiredness. Our archers are probably getting a better shot on. We're slowly but surely surging on the walls, and now we are just charging through that gateway now. They have moved around some of their heavy infantry. That's smart to block that, but if we can just swing around, it might just be enough. But so far, it's going to take a handful of turns. The entirety of the English army, well, in England, mobilized to take just one settlement. So it's definitely been costly, this war. However, the English nobles and the council have gonna pitch in for the conquest. Now Normandy, now that we've only got one settlement, I think securing it is going to be so much easier. If we can keep like a stack and a half there, it should deter any aggression. Now, would I do that in vanilla Medieval 2? No, because the AI is just so backstabby. Now, I'm curious in this. We've given them a piece of territory. We've given them an alliance. Will they keep their word? We'll eventually go to war with the French. We'll have the 100 Years' War. Maybe in 100 years. Who knows? But we're just not simply strong enough just yet. And even if we throw everyone in, we still have to deal with the Scots and maybe the Danes. And then if we somehow empirically, like if we win a war in mainland France and it's a Pyrrhic victory, it's a Pyrrhic war, we're just going to get chopped down by either the Spanish or the Catholic Iberian factions flying over the Pyrenees. We've also got the Italian states. Hell, even the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire, could be an issue. I think securing Great Britain, bring it fully under the control of our monarchy is the play.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Okay.
Lost half their men.
Just holding me here. Maybe we try and surround them. Okay, let's make a play to the town square so we can initiate the countdown. Oh no, they're starting to run. Oh, it's because we managed to snipe their general. Alright. Still pinning down those on the walls. That's alright. If they fight in the town square, they're going to fight to the last man because they get... What is it?
My lord, we've lost control of the castle.
Immortal public order? No, wait. Immortal, like, morale? Yeah, they're not going to break. Alright. We have initiated the countdown. Only just less than 3 minutes remaining. And then victory. Nice. Happened before that. Only 400 men lost. Alright, let's end the turn and continue. Oh no! You've got to be kidding me, man! Alright, well, welcome back. Unfortunately, we had a game crash, so we had to redo that battle. We're going to occupy the settlement. I think sacking and exterminating would make everyone quite unhappy. Okay, resistance. My lord, the locals... Oh, wow, okay. So there's going to be some Welsh resistance? Seriously? Oh, wow, it even spawned another army. Oh, my God. That's annoying that we had to redo that. It's a shame we had a game crash. Alright, so Robert can sit here. We'll try and replenish and repair. I suppose we try and retrain as well. We've got that 8,000... in the bank, but let's see how the Welsh react. Well, let's maybe move our spy back to England because we, well, lost the one trying to invade into Wales. Let's move you back here and let's move you here. I think having 2 ships near the shortest crossing is probably the play. Now, we've still got to deal with that army. We could sally out, potentially, but they might attack us, so we'll see. Alright, someone from Durham. No, thank you. Some remarks on military matters. Okay. Grooming governors. Young generals need to go to school. Oh, as an education is one of the most foremost parts. Okay, so it's actually better to keep some of the youngsters and kill their until they come... a bit more of age. Okay, that's kind of cool. Wow, that's really sensible and realistic, actually. Alright. Let's go into Germany, though. Right, doesn't seem like they're going to push and attack us, so we might have to manually play this one. Going out. So I think we'll allow Stefan and we'll leave Robert in there permanently. So can that reach? Yes, it can. Oh wow, Thomas. Oh, he's a pretty decent commander actually. 10-1. Stefan Diabolus will have his first real command. Man, some of these Welsh freedom fighters, as it were, are quite strong. To whom God wills will victory? What? Okay. So let's rally up. And we'll make a push. Oh, that's good. Let's try and get some units to flank. Oh, densely forested again, unfortunately. So already, what? We spent over an hour or so here today just trying to take Wales. We've had 2 decent battles. This is probably going to be the 3rd. And Robert of I can't even say it. Golchester. I think it's the G. Golchester. Maybe it's my accent. Golchester. Colchester. That's the Golchester. Alright, let's move up. Yeah, we'll try and track some of the accomplishments. So I guess we'll sort of make Robert the regional governor. He can have Wales for now. And Stefan Diabolus can essentially, once we've finished subjugating the Welsh, we're going to make plans and preparations to go north of the border. We'll rally back at York. We might even replenish and repair. And use some of that 8,000 gold pieces that we got from the council. And some of the land's rad, as it were. The landowners. To make plans and preparations for an invasion of Scotland, which, crikey, will be easier said than done. Pushing up there against William Wallace and the boys, the Bruces. Alright, let's give out some attack orders here now, and we're fresh and eager to go, so that should change things since, well, the last open field battle. But once again, I've got to remember their archers. I did say that the Welsh archers and the longbowmen are some of the best in the game. It's been brutal. Super high casualties. But thankfully, due to our numerical supremacy, look. What, we got 5 settlements, 2 castles on mainland England, and 1 external territory in Normandy. It was only going to go one way, unless we mega through. But once Wales is fully under our control, I think we'll keep it as a castle for now, but eventually in the grand scheme of things, I probably want to make it a settlement. Just due to, like, coastal settlements are just so much more valuable being cities, just because of the ports. Obviously, if it's a front line city and you need to actively keep troops nearby, or it's a really good choke point, it's a bit more valuable. But I don't think the Irish are going to come over the border. Like, you actually might be better off making Norwich a castle than Wales. We probably should make the entirety of Ireland. I probably want to make Scotland as well settlements, because I don't think we're going to get attacked in the north. I do kind of fear the Norwegian incursion. I don't think the Saxons are going to come back and get some vengeance. I'm sure the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire, is probably subjugated them. Also, what view do you guys use? I obviously for years used to use the default medieval 2 view, but I use the minimal HUD now. I think I do like it because you can see more of the battlefield. You can zoom in and look at the units a little bit more, but you lose the ability just to see where, like, you press the faction icon button to see where all the enemy combatants are. That's annoying that they don't have that. What do you use, minimal or default? Let me know in the comments. Like, I feel like you don't even need all that stuff up the top there. You could nearly fully do without. I do tend to not use the keybinds anyway. Oh wow, this is going to be a glorious victory for us as Stefan Diabolus, potentially a future king or even prince for us. He's going to win a glorious victory. I still lost 435, so we want to try and keep that down. Put an end to so great an evil. William of Tyre. Okay, so we've looted the camp. Let's accept. And that is it. Wales is under our control. We could get some mercenaries, but we're not going to worry about it. But we have a whopping treasury now of 16,000. So we probably don't want to grow that too much. From what I can remember, you do get more corruption the more gold you hoard. Okay, so let's now make the slow and painstaking task to get back to York, and we're nearly at a stage that we could probably justify another army, but nothing has changed family tree wise. Let's get the king's, I think it's his cousin or his nephew, Stefan Diabol, I think it's his cousin, to go north. I think we'll go with Geoffrey Plantagenet, who is the king's son. We'll go with Prince Gregory to go north. He can control the second army. Oh, here we go. The Holy Roman Empire want to talk to me, and they're going to offer trade rights. Sure. Let's try and get as much trade with as many factions as you can. I don't really care about the map information. I roughly know where anyone is, and we can't afford that anyway. Now, let me know in the comments, is this a rumor? Because I don't know if this is true now. I thought back in the day, if you got a bunch of trade rights with factions and then couldn't actually trade with them, you actually get worse relations with them if you couldn't sort out a port. Is that true in vanilla, or is that one of those old nuns' tales? I don't know. Missing funds. Oh, here we go. A trusted subject brings you disturbing news. Someone has been slowly skimming off the coffers. Yeah, taking a little bit of cream off the top, as it were. So you don't. So it's interesting that it's like, okay, if buildings and stuff cost so much, you want to build up a large treasury. Nope, you do need to spend it at some point. Send an emissary to the HRE. Okay, so we're going to get 1,500 and potentially some more units. Nice. So we got the White Tower. That's only going to take 6 turns, and that's 10,000 done. I think doing that gives us the training of sergeants, and that's a historical building. Henry the Wise could build that in his reign, as he is sitting in his old stomping grounds of Normandy, governing from here as he's sending his generals. So, yeah, I suppose we probably make our way down to Italy, because I do want to negotiate with the Pope. Getting an alliance with the Vatican and the Papal States is essential. We can get some really good relations. I think you can even put up our standing with other Catholic factions, and of course them. We might even call Crusades. Okay, candidate for adoption. Oliver Saville, 16. For the king. Well, that's a very unfortunate name. Let's decline. How to end an unwanted war. If you want peace, diplomatic. Oh, yes, because you can sort of like force a stalemate if you continually sit in a defensive war. Instead of like, if you want to make peace, you sort of don't do offensive actions. Okay, the council wants me to negotiate with the Republic of Venice. We could probably do that on our way to meet the Pope. Meet Mr. Popey.
Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
Okay. Still moving the army back to York, and we're going to push our spy north into Scotland to have a bit of a look at their military infrastructure. Okay, so we can't go that way because there's a rebel army. What do they got? Okay, so Dunedin. And what do they wield?
Where to?
About a half a stack. Nothing too crazy. Some clansmen, some archers. Okay. It's the Scottish pikemen is probably what we do fear. But at the moment, I don't even know if we outnumber them with just this one army. I don't think so. Anyway, let's move you into York. we'll try and retrain as many of them as we can. We're only 7 turns in. And, ooh, a leather tanner. Oh, yeah, I think getting padded in leather is probably a good idea. I think York is going to be, like, one of the castles that I'm going to improve and use in this game. And we'll move you back to Lincoln. Alright, still retraining, replenishing, preparing the lads in York to go over Hadrian's Wall and push into Scotland. The king has approved the mission, and we could maybe get some knights, but they just cost so much. I'm going to continue to move my spy north, gathering crucial intelligence, but by the look of it, it seems like Scotland doesn't have more than 2 settlements. I thought Inverness would be a castle, but it seems like only those 2. And I guess Edinburgh isn't really a city at this point. Anyway, King Henry is now 67 years of age. Philibert is in London. We don't have a governor in there. Reginald of Cornwall. Robert is sitting here. And we probably could do some construction. The White Tower is being built. We've got a blacksmith there. Our finances are looking very nice and stable. Alright, let's negotiate with the Venetians. Alright, Verona they occupy. Just trade will be fine. They are at war, interesting. So the Republic of Venice and another 1500, and we get some more units. I think we get more if we have our historic capital. Who are you? Oh, the Republic of Pisa is a faction in this game. Nice. And then we've got the papacy here. Alright, so 2 turns ahead now. Well, we spent the last couple, basically since turn 7, logistically replenishing and repairing. I think we might get some axemen. As much as I like those like knights, they just cost too much. We're not at a point to justify their construction just yet. Look at this, 1500, and then it's 500 a turn. That's crazy. So we can get some, but like not too many. We might just simply not be able to afford it. I want at least 2 full stacks before we move into Scotland. So we can focus on Great Britain now. I don't fear an attack from the French. No martial law. Oh, okay. It's because... Oh, wait. Martial law was enacted? Oh, wow. You need a whole... All traces of the faction will disappear after 250 years. Oh, my God. That's crazy. So you really want to try and keep your governors there. All right. Well, I'm going to take a break here now. I've been playing this and this particular recording session here today for an hour or so over. So... what I'm going to do now is basically prepare those 2 armies. If anything happens, I'll start recording again. But we're going to replenish and repair. We're going to get our boys properly equipped. And then we're going to move up into Scotland. Well, unfortunately on that note, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed episode 1 of my Medieval Total War Definitive Edition SSHIP Modded England campaign. I'm very hard. Stay tuned for episode 2 coming out the exact same time tomorrow. Support this series if you want to see more of this particular mod. And Medieval 2, of course. My name has been Simpsy. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.